All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are just waiting for a few more people to show up. There's Mike. What's up, Mike? Hold on. There we are.
Mr. Ronald Colman, a star of the Dunwich Horror, a suspense play produced, edited, and directed by William Spears. Come in, Dunwich, Massachusetts. Come in, Dunwich. Good evening. This is Henry Armitage. I'm speaking to you. Dr. Rice, please close the window. I'm speaking to you from my laboratory on the slopes of Sentinel Hill near Dunwich, Massachusetts. Present with me is Dr. Warren Rice, my distinguished colleague from Miskatonic University. We are now about 100 yards from the summit of the hill, which is crowned by a huge table-like stone set in the center of a circle of stone pillars, a place of prehistoric worship. A moment ago, you may have heard the dogs of Dunwich Township barking, as we have heard them for 3 days and 3 nights. Dr. Rice and I know the horror which their barking portends, but the purpose of this broadcast is to make this unbelievable horror believable to you. I hope for your sakes and ours we are successful tonight. It is the eve of All Hallows. Tomorrow will be too late. Our time tonight is very short, so I'll speak only of those more recent events which, believe me, may culminate at any moment in a climax too frightful to wholly contemplate. I will begin with a verse of Wilbur Whately. It was the night of February the 2nd, 1921, Candlemas. Toward dawn, when Lavinia Whately, a deformed albino woman about 35 years old, gave birth to her dark, goatish-looking son in the crumbling Whately farmhouse northeast of the village. No one attended her. No doctor or midwife. No one was with her, except her aged, half-insane father, who was known as Wizard Whately. So Wilbur came into this world under heaven knows what incantations, what appeals to what power. A week later, Wizard Whately drove his sleigh into Dunwich village and reported the event to a group of loungers in Osborne's general store.
Hey, your grandson's got yellow hair like Lavinia Wizard?
No, takes after his father more. Dark, dark. You never spoke of who his father might be now, did you? Oh, you'll know his father when the time comes. Oh, Lavinia's read and seen some things the most of you only talk about. Calculate her husband's as good as you can find this side of Aylesbury.
We don't be nosy, Wizard.
Maybe it wanted no church that none of you hear, though. But you wouldn't ask no better church wedding than Lavinia's.
Well, I didn't hear tell of no wedding, Wizard. When was that?
Oh, not a wedding you'd hear of, Corey. Not a husband you'd hear of, neither. But let me tell you something. Someday you folks will hear a child of Lavinia's calling its father's name on top of Sentinel Hill.
Prophecy? Or idle boasting by an insane old man? Oh, I know I ask a great deal when I ask you to believe that the the arrival of an infant into that house of dire poverty and squalor could possibly constitute a horror and a threat to all our known world. Yet it has an earthly history. Perhaps through this history you will be able to give it credence. Wilbur Whately's growth was uncanny. But even if he had been an average child, he would have become, in time, an unnatural being, for he was surrounded from the first by the most malign influences. There was his grandfather, old Whately, Wizard Whately, who each Halloween climbed Sentinel Hill to the great circle of stone, and while the hill shook, stood holding a great book open on his arm and shrieked into the wind. Shrieked. Yog Sothoth, that dreadful name, first mentioned in the hideous forbidden book, the Necronomicon. And this Wizard Whately was Wilbur's teacher. The villagers began to notice curious things that were going on at the Whately farmhouse. Soon after Wilbur was born, old Whately began to remodel the house. The abandoned upper story was restored, and all the windows were tightly boarded up. And then, Wizard began to buy cattle in large numbers, both horses and cows. Yet the livestock on the farm didn't seem to increase. Young Lem Brown was one day curious enough to creep close to the house to count the Whately herd.
Dr. Armitage, there weren't more than 12 cows, and them 6 looked like they had the blight and funny wounds on them, like cuts. I heard something, too, in the top part of Wizard's house. Something like water slapping inside, only big like a sea.
One other person went to the Whately farm in the years before I met Wilbur, Dr. Ken Houghton of Aylesbury, who was called by Wilbur himself, who said that his grandfather was dying. Dr. Houghton found the old man in a bedroom on the ground floor, and Wilbur with him. While outside the window, a legion of whippoorwills cried loudly and rhythmically, endlessly. Wilbur spoke about the sound.
Certainly whistling time with his breathing now. They're ready. Listen, Doctor. They know his soul's going out. They're waiting.
Yes, Wilbur, that's an interesting superstition. Late in the year for them, too.
When he goes, if they catch him, they'll keep laughing till break of day. If they don't catch him, they'll quiet down.
You mean you believe that... just a minute. I think he's conscious.
Yes, the birds change when his breathing changes. Like I say,
Willie!
I'm here.
More space, Willie. Remember, more space soon.
Yes, I'll build it.
You grows, but that grows faster. It'll be ready to serve you soon, Willie.
I know.
But remember, when it's time, you open up the gates to Yog Sothoth with the long chant, the one on page 7 and 51 of the book. But mind you, read it enough, because if it gets out before you opens to Yog Sothoth, it's all over. It's no use.
He's going now. He's dead, Wilbur.
Listen. The birds, they didn't get him. Yes, he's free. He's gone.
It was the winter following Wizard Whately's death that I first met Wilbur. He came in person to the library at Miskatonic University to consult a copy of the hideous Necronomicon, which was kept there in its Latin version, as printed in Spain in the 17th century. I tell you, when he came into my office, I was appalled at his appearance. 8 feet tall, shabby, dirty, bearded. But I was even more appalled by his voice when he spoke to me.
I wrote you a letter a month past, Doctor. I wanted a loan of the book.
Well, that's a book that's never loaned from this library. I doubt if it is from any library.
Well, I have to see it then.
Very well, it's just right here. As you know, there are only 3 copies of this book in existence. That's why we're careful. Here, you can look at it on this table.
Wizard said it would be on page 751.
What? What is it you're looking for?
The formula, the long chant, the one that opens the gate to Yog-Sothoth.
I felt a wave of fright as tangible as a draft from the tomb. It seemed somehow like the spawn of another dimension, like something only partly of mankind, linked to black gulfs beyond all spheres of force and matter, space and time. And presently he raised his head and spoke again.
It's here, all right, but I'll have to have a copy.
That paragraph there? I don't know.
You know Latin, Doctor?
Yes, certainly.
Then read it, Doctor. Let's hear how you make it out.
That shouldn't be difficult. Let's see. Nor is it to be thought that man is the oldest or the last of Earth's masters. The old ones were, and the old ones shall be. Not in the spaces that we know, but between them. But only Yog-Sothoth knows the gate. Yog-Sothoth is the gate to where the old ones broke through of old. Their hands are at your throat, yet ye see them not.
Dr. Armitage, you see, I reckon I've got to take that book home. There's things in it I've got to try, and you can't hold me up.
No, I'm sorry.
I tell you, Doctor, I'll have the book sooner or later, no matter what. You see, it that's waiting for me at home won't wait much longer.
A week later that I was awakened suddenly by the fierce yelping of the great watchguard on the campus, followed by a sound from a wholly different throat, a scream. And I knew instantly that Wilbur had come back for the Necronomicon. I hastened into my clothes and rushed across to the library where a crowd had gathered before the smashed window of my office. Inside there was a fearful groaning and growling, and some instinct warned me. But what was taking place there was not for unfortified eyes to see. I brushed back the crowd, motioning only to Professor Rice to come in with me. When we opened the study door, Professor Rice screamed.
No, Dr. Armitage, no, I can't.
Come, close the door. You can't let them see. He's alive, but Lord, what a job that dog's done. Torn him to bits. That's a horrible sound, that moaning. Suppose we ought to call a doctor?
A doctor? A doctor for that? No doctor in the world would know what to do for that. Look, Armitage, it's not human, nor animal. Where did it come from? Can you tell me? Can you tell me what it is?
No, I couldn't tell what Wilbur Whately was. The thing that lay half bent on its side in a pool of greenish yellow stickiness was 9 feet tall. The dog had torn off all the clothing and some of the skin. It was partly human beyond a doubt, with very man-like hands and head, but the torso and lower parts of the body were package. With chest has the leathery hide of a crocodile or alligator. But below the waistline, the skin was covered with coarse black fur. And from the abdomen, long greenish-gray tentacles. The limbs terminated in ridgy-veined pads that were neither hooves nor claws. And as Dr. Rice and I stood staring at this presence, the whippoorwills began to cry in unison outside the study window. And then the thing on the floor roused and mumbled.
How much have you given me?
Listen. The whippoorwill. Listen. He's dead now. Look, Christ, look what's happening.
He's disintegrating.
Oh. So. Heading away. But he isn't made of matter as we know it on Earth. I guess he took after his father. So there'll be nothing left.
His father? What was his fault?
I damn think. I thought then that what came into our world with Wilbur Whately left with him. I forgot what he himself had told me of it, which was waiting in the sealed house Lizard Whately had built, where the cattle were driven to disappear. But Wilbur Whately left a diary, written in a strange alphabet resembling Sanskrit. And I worked off and on for weeks to decipher it. And finally, I read the following passage written by Wilbur when he was no more than 8 years old.
That upstairs is more ahead of me than I had thought it would be. And it's not like to have much earth brain. I can see it a little when I make the sign or blow the powder of even gutsy at it. And it is like them I see Halloween on the hill. I wonder how I shall look when the earth is cleared and there are no earth beings. Maybe like that upstairs looks, which has no body, even fed with all the blood.
Fourth morning, a cold sweat of terror, I called Dr. Rice to my house and told him we have to destroy what's in that farmhouse.
Why can't we just leave the thing locked up there? The house is boarded tight.
Yes, if you think boards will hold it. Don't you realize, man, it hasn't been fed? It hasn't had blood since the 18th of September, when Wilbur Whately came here to die. We left for Dunwich that night, and we've been here on Sentinel Hill ever since, working desperately to discover the formula in time. But a week ago tonight, shortly after dawn... Yeah, hello?
Dr. Armitage, this is Lem Brown. I was just up beyond the glen, Doctor, looking for cows I lost last night.
Yes, Lem?
Well, Doctor, something's in there. Smells like thunder, and there's prints in the road. Great round prints, big as barrel heads, like a elephant has been along.
Anything else, Lem?
That's all I see. Except bushes and trees pushed back from the road, like a house was drug along.
Oh, did you hear anything?
Yes, long toward morning, I heard a sound over toward Whately's place. A kind of ripping or tearing of wood, like a big box was being opened up. Jency, you heard it too.
Lem, who lives nearest the Whately farm?
Why, that'd be Elmer Fry's place.
Well, he's on this line too, isn't he? Hang on and I'll ring him.
Yes, Dr. Armitage, this is Central.
I'm trying to get Elmer Fry, Central.
Doctor, he must be out somewhere. And his whole family. I was ringing there an hour ago. Earl Sawyer saw Elmer's cow stampeded at Cold Spring Glen.
Oh, you didn't get him. All right. But if you hear or see anything more, let me know. I'll be here working all day. Rise. Rise. Oh, wake up. It's loose. It's out of the house. One family gone already. We have to work. Pray God we find that formula in time. A week since it broke loose. A week of terror and panic here in Dunwich Township. Each night it moves about the countryside, leaving the trees crushed in a 30-foot swathe, as though by a moving mountain, leaving its monstrous tracks on a trail of tarry stickiness, leaving crushed and gutted farmhouses and whole herds of cattle drained of blood. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the story to this moment. And tonight is Halloween. Tonight we are here to... Just one moment, please. Dr. Rice,
The Canadian...
hear something?
No, with the window closed, no.
We'll try to open it. I thought so. Listen. Sound from 1,000 bending trees. Sound like the sea moving across a forest. Yes. Yes, it's coming here, of course. All Hallows, it comes to Sentinel Hill. Dr. Rice, I'll try the formula and the powder from the altar stone. I want you to stay here at the microphone and report what you see.
Very well, Dr. Armitage.
Oh, wait a minute before I go. To any scientists who may be listening to me, if I fail, there is a possible alternative formula in Falconer's Mystical Formulae of the Middle Ages on page 24. Well, there are the whippoorwills. I'd better get out there. Take over, Dr. Rice.
Yes. I'll do as well as I can, Armitage. Good luck. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Armitage is climbing to the top of the hill, to the altar stone. I can see him plainly, for the moon is high and the night clear. Down the hill toward the dark village, I can see the grasses and shrubbery bending down, marking the monster's ascent. It moves quite fast, and I feel a proximity to phases of being utterly forbidden. Now, Dr. Armitage stands now on the altar stone, and is holding the powder which, if the books are correct, will make this thing for an instant visible. It is quite close to him now, perhaps 20 yards or less. He lifts his hand, he brings the powder in a wide arc. I can see, oh, no, no!
Dr. Rice, come in, Dunwich. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your suspense announcer. Due to conditions... Oh, just a moment, please. One moment, please. Dr. Rice, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, for a moment I was overcome when I saw. Ladies and gentlemen, perhaps you can hear now the incantation of Dr. Armitage. Listen. The whippoorwills mean death. And Dr. Armitage is walking back here now. So we know that whatever it was, it is gone. It is dead. We can be thankful indeed. You see, I saw Dr. Armitage.
Yes. Did you see it, Dr. Rice?
I saw it, Lord, yes.
What did it look like to you?
It looked
Here.
like something made of squirming ropes, but bigger than a barn and shaped, well, like an egg, and dozens of legs, like barrels that half closed when it stepped, and nothing solid about it, and at least 15 or 20 mouths or trunks opening and closing, but what was it?
Oh, kind kind of force. A kind of force that doesn't belong in our part of space. Did you notice the half face on top?
Half face, like a human face.
Yes, very large, but yes, quite human. And quite like Wilbur's, like all the weightless.
Then it was,
That's right. It was Wilbur's twin brother. And you saw what 3 weeks' growth had done. And it was the child of Lavinia's who called its father's name on Sentinel Hill, as Wizard Whately prophesied. You heard it calling, Yog Sotto. Ladies and gentlemen, this night is over. It is All Saints' Day. May heaven bless us all.
The Dunwich Horror, with Ronald Colman as your star of suspense. This is the Armed Forces Radio Service.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, what did we think of that? The Dunwich Horror is actually one of the more famous of the Lovecraftian stories. I don't believe it's as famous as the Cult of Cthulhu, but it certainly is known for, well, I believe it's the introduction of Yog-Sothoth to the Necronomicon, which you will remember from the Evil Dead series. Gypsy Fuckley, hi from New Zealand. Mike, that was good. I like this. Yeah. I'm looking for a lot of, I'm looking for whatever I can find, particularly in the horror category. Mike, do you watch a show while listening to this? No. How would I do that, Philip? I do, look around while listening. But I don't watch anything. Basically, you guys have my ears. Mary Mistrada, I thought it was a good story. Thought used good description that put you in the scene. Yeah. Again, this is H.P. Lovecraft. And one of his more famous stories. Mike, Lovecraft have lots of... I don't know. This is the first one I found, and it was a single file. So, but it was in really good quality. I did not need to be altered. Help Rochi, I see. Lovecraft is known for the really dark horror. But his impact on the cultural zeitgeist continues to grow as time goes on. I hadn't heard of him until I think the early 2000s. But yeah, I mean, again, guys, this is a mixed bag. It's one of those things that, I've read the Dunwich Horror. I read the original as a PDF, I think. So I'm familiar with the story, and I knew it was going to happen. And I mean, Miskatonic University is, well known in the Lovecraftian world. It's often a name that's dropped. If you remember Reanimator and Jeffrey Combs, that's where he was a teacher or professor. Oh, Virgie, how many episodes of Lights Out are there? I don't know, dude. I think I got something like 80. Adams, hey, quick word of advice for you if you would like. Probably not. Adams, not okay, cool, yeah. Most of the time when people give me advice, it's really rude. What the? Mary, hit the like, guys. Yeah. Again, ladies and gentlemen, these are not very popular. They do tend to do okay, but they're not wonderful. I'm not getting a lot of subscribers for them. Mike, Halloween night should be something super scary. Well, Mike, I was saving the War of the Worlds for Halloween, which I have a copy of it, and I have cleaned it already. Well, Rochi, favorite Halloween movie? The first one. You guys should note that I've reviewed, as of Halloween this year, I will have reviewed every movie in the Halloween franchise except for the 2 Rob Zombie movies, which I will be saving for next year. Okay, in terms of what I intend to review next year, I'm actually looking at doing the Hellraiser series, because I've never done that before. I have never seen a Hellraiser movie, though I'm very familiar with them. Mike, Halloween is Jamie Lee Curtis, yeah. The Rob Zombie movies did not contain Jamie Lee Curtis. But virtually, there are like 8 of them, right? Which, Halloween or Hellraiser? I think 8 is common for both. Let's see. Yeah. No. I think there are 8 Hellraisers, and there must be more Halloween movies. Halloween 6, I think, was pre-Rob Zombie, and then Rob Zombie had 2, making a total of 8. And then there was the most recent trilogy, which would bring that up to 11. Like 13 Halloween. Really? Yeah. I can't even remember anymore. Let's see here. Okay. So there's Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, that would be 6, okay? Halloween H2O, 7. Halloween Resurrection, 8. The Rob Zombie films, Halloween and Halloween 2, that's 9 and 10. Halloween, the new trilogy, that's 11. Halloween Kills, 13. Halloween Ends, or 12. Halloween Ends, 13. So yes, there are a lot of Halloween films. I believe I saw the last 3 in theaters. Oh, Virgie, holy macaroni, yeah. mean, again, guys, you know, let me have a look here. So, in the last month, I have made about $30 on this channel, which isn't enough to buy three movie tickets. Okay, and I can't tell you how much I've spent on this channel, but it's quite a lot in terms of the food I buy for review and whatever have you. So, Mike, Jason is better than Michael Myers, though. Eh. I mean, some of his movies have been pretty bad, but yeah. Let's see. Friday the 13th, Friday the 13th Part 2, Friday the 13th Part 3, Friday the 13th The Final Chapter 4, Friday the 13th A New Beginning 5, Jason Lives 6, The New Blood 7, Jason Takes Manhattan 8, Jason Goes to Hell The Final Friday 9, Jason X 10, Freddy vs. Jason 11, Friday the 13th 12. So they're running neck and neck. Friday the 13th needs one more movie to match Halloween, and they are talking about making more Halloween movies. Okay. Interestingly speaking, Sigourney Weaver just apparently is in talks to make another Alien film, which I don't think is a good idea. Well, Birchie, I heard it's not the action in scary movies that makes them scary, it's the music. So if you cover your ears, it won't be scary. The music of a horror movie, Philip, typically emulates what you want the heart to do. Okay, the beat of the music is the heartbeat of the audience. So that music will, push you forward. I have to admit, I once watched Jaws, but I was very distracted, and I didn't think much of it. So, yeah. Just as another point, another Halloween watch we could do, if we wanted something longer, would be the original Night of the Living Dead, which is open source. So we could do that. Well, Birchie, Annabelle was scary. Never saw Pennywise and don't want to. You know, Phil, once again, you've never met my sister. So, like, things are scary to you because you haven't met my sister. But I mean, if you had met my, it's like this Dunwich horror, it's like the thing was the size of like a couple buses stuck together, like nothing compared to my sister. My sister would have had it for a snack. So, oh, Virgie, how long is the Night of the Living Dead? It's an hour and a half, maybe. Mike, I don't like movies that hurt kids. Night of the Living Dead is 1 hour and 36 minutes. The original version. Full Broachy, same, Mike. Yeah, I don't like movies where the dog gets hurt. I mean, I'm concerned about Good Boy. I don't know if I want to watch that movie. Mike, I heard that Terrifier is awful scary. No. No, I've seen every Terrifier film. I don't find them scary at all. Old Fart the Clown there. Wow. You know, a series I haven't done, VHS. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 movies in the VHS franchise. Flipperchi, any scary movies involving animals, attacks you can recommend? Cujo. Um, Cujo is the ultimate animal attack movie, unless you want like sharks or something. Orca, it's another great animal. It's like basically Jaws, only with orcas. Orcas are scarier. Still not as scary as my sister, but I mean, you know. Soldier, yes, Philip. Chronicles of the Epsteins. Never heard of that. Philip Rochi, Bears. Hmm. Have you seen The Revenant with Leo? That was a pretty scary movie. Cocaine Bear. Unnatural. Grizzly. There's more than one Grizzly. There's a Grizzly 2? I never saw Grizzly 2. Grizzly Rage? Mike, I heard a man watch The Exorcist and froze up, couldn't move. Yeah. Soldier, Beasts. Mike, I'm scared to watch it. It's on my watch list, bro, but I mean, you know. Like, I'm told The Exorcist is the scariest movie in human history, but I mean, once again, I have met my sister. Well, Virgie, I wanted to watch the one movie of the Predator fighting a bear. I saw a clip of it, but don't know the movie's title. Predator Prey? Yeah. It's the one that's marked in the past with the Predator fighting a Native American. Ever seen Ticks? Yes, I have. I believe I have reviewed Ticks. Let me... Yes, I reviewed Ticks in 2019. Fulbrochi, some Olaf school Japanese movies are scary. Japanese movies tend to be real torture porn movies, and that's why I don't care for them. I mean, I'd like to find the English dub of the original Godzilla, but I'm not willing to pay for it. So, oh no, they say he's got to go, 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 Godzilla. Oh no, there goes Tokyo. Mike, I know y'all haven't seen The Human Centipede. The movie don't interest me. I tried to watch it. It was just too boring. Philip Roche, you ever seen Harakiri or Seven Samurai? I've seen Seven Samurai. I was this baby. Mary, I also tried to watch and didn't finish. Mike, Richard. Well, Brochi, Last Samurai with Tom Cruise is pretty good. Mary, I should probably watch The Human Centipede because I'm a film reviewer and it's part of the zeitgeist. But there are a lot of major films I haven't seen. Mike, are the actors actually playing in the movie some scenes or is it just animated? What? What movie are you talking about, Mike? Human Centipede? I don't believe there was use of any CGI in there. Like Venom, no one is actually playing him. Well, so you mean in Predator? I'm assuming that they had somebody in a Predator suit at some point. Mikorolto 11, what do you think of Weapons? My review of Weapons is out. Okay, so you would want to go watch that. Get my thoughts. Again, guys, I review movies. It's what I do. I'm doing these because YouTube wants live streams. I don't know if it's even worth it at this point, but I thought Weapons was a solid movie. I certainly do that. But then what does I have the concept of the watch list, and for me, it's like middle of the watch list means that if it's above the middle, it's a movie that you should at some point in your life see. If it's below the middle, it's not a movie you should bother watching. Okay, and that's just generally what I would say. Weapons falls in the upper middle of your watch list, or the middle to upper middle, because it's a pretty good movie. It's not a movie you should skip, but it's not at the top of your watch list because it's not a movie you have to watch. So it's like when the opportunity comes by, you should watch Weapons. Mike, you like the sci-fi shark movies like Sharknado or Tornado Shark? I've never heard of that. Or the shark with the three heads. I have watched three-headed shark, four-headed shark, five-headed shark. Yeah. I watch a lot of shark movies. Most recently, I watched Alien Shark, which was terrible. Not nearly as fun as Five-Headed Shark Attack. I have seen most of the Sharknado movies, but I haven't reviewed them. Philip, do you like Anaconda? Yeah. Kimo Lolo, do you live in a van down by the river? No, but I'm balls deep in your mom. Mike, Piranha movie was good. Philip, you may like. Eh. Miss Rhoda, I didn't think Anaconda was scary, but was a good story. Um, Nothing scares me. Orochi, I'll check it, Mike. Thank you. Kimilowo, are you thrice divorced? No. Only balls deep in your mom. Orochi, Mike and Mary, what's the scariest movie you have ever seen? For me, it's home movies of my sister. Mike, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, probably. Yeah, it's a pretty scary, scary movie. Here's another question for you guys, and I mean this is a pretty open question. How many horror franchises should I tackle every Halloween? Okay, because like I've almost finished the Halloween franchise. I've done every Jason movie. I've done every Freddy movie. I've done every Final Destination movie. I haven't done Child's Play. I haven't done VHS. I haven't done like Evil Bong is another one. Full Rochi, there was one movie of a box and some Desmond thing crawled out of it. Could you be speaking of Basket Case? There, Mr. Rhoda, it takes a lot to scare me, but once of the most unsettling was I Spit on Your Grave. Didn't see that one. Phil Brochi, never heard of that one, Mary. It's a very famous film. Kamalolo, can you say I might be fat, I might small bad, but the air quotes like Matt Foley. Mike, Phil, there was a movie called 666 that freaked me out. Apparently, Box Demon is a movie. Okay. Oberchi, the possession, an old Jewish wine box contained a monster that would get inside people. Possession is a 2012 American supernatural horror film directed by Old Bernaldo with by Juliet Snowden and Stella White, and produced by Sam Raimi. A young girl buys an antique box at a yard sale, unaware that inside collectible lives a malicious ancient spirit. A dibuk. Let me see here. Uh, ah. All right, Phil, my digital copy of The Possession is on its way. Appears to be a Lionsgate film. Mike, 2006, The Child, the 666. Well, Virtue, what's the movie where the kid says, I see dead people? The Sixth Sense. Miss Rod, I haven't seen that one. Kemalolo, there was a movie about a possessed computer and starred Ron Howard's brother. Ever seen it? No. Miss Rod, The Sixth Sense, Phil. Phil Brochi, thanks, Mary. I see dead people. Willis, Richard, what's up, brother? Not much, dude. You just missed the Dunwich horror. Well, Brochi, try to stay away from horror movies. It messes with my head too much. Hey, Willis. Willis, Philip, what's up, brother? I had visions. I was in them. I was looking into the mirror. Mike. Phil, you like Jaws? Did you know that every sequel to Jaws didn't make as much money as the original? Like, all together. Phil, love Jaws. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I have been on for an hour, so I do have things to do. So I shall talk to you all later. I'm Richard.